My brothers and sisters who are in Christ, this is Minister Charles Brown from the Doctrinal Institute of Jesus Christ. Today, I will speak with you about the woman of God. The name of this lesson is the woman of God. In Hebrew, the word for woman is Isha, which means a female man. After God formed the man from the dust of the ground, God saw that it was not good that man should be alone. God said, I will make man a helpmeet. Helpmeet in this context means mate or counterpart. God made or built a woman and brought her to the man. See Genesis 2nd chapter, 22nd verses. The words made or built in this verse means to have the ability to obtain children. The woman ability to obtain children are the only feature on a woman that a doctor cannot duplicate on another human being, which makes this feature the only thing that gives credence to the biological differences of a man and a woman. Now, to all the male homosexuals and transvestites, you can never become a woman, regardless of your thinking, if you do not have this feature. After the woman showed herself to be so gullible and became deceived in the Garden of Eden, God declared that their desire would be to their husband. This declaration of the woman's desire for her husband was not a ticket for the man to take advantage of the woman, but God foreknew that this would happen since selfishness had entered the world. Therefore, we must remember that domination comes by way of influence and control or rule by superior power or authority. Now, after Adam and Eve disobeyed the commandment of God and became aware that they were naked, God clothes them with material that covers their entire body and then put them out of the Garden of Eden. This kind of dress style was instituted to diminish the thought of lustful sexual behavior, which would coincide with the 10th commandment, which states, thou shalt not covet. Remember, Adam and Eve made themselves some skimpy clothes prior to God making them clothes that covered them up. See Genesis 3rd chapter, 7 verses. Not only did God give heed to the weather, but which they was in, but God recognized their moral compass. The skimpy clothing that we wear today is a result of those individuals who were cast out into the open field, which was Europe, and played the harlot. See Ezekiel 16th chapter, 5th and 15th verses, 23rd chapter, 12th verse. The skimpy or tight clothing to show your shape and our flesh is designed to challenge the 10th commandment. All the great cultures of the world such as the Asian culture and the African or Middle Eastern culture, always recognize the dress style that God made for humanity. Only the European culture defies God's dress code and made skimpy clothing challenging the 10th commandment. The greed and arrogance of the European culture has allowed themselves to go from one extreme to another extreme, thereby disregarding the 10th commandment. These extremes are shown in 1 Corinthians 6 chapter 9 verses, where the Apostle Paul spoke about the effeminate nature of one sex and by implication insinuated the opposite of an effeminate person to the other sex. An effeminate person is a male who is not sure of their affinity. The man wears soft and fine clothing. Fine is defined as skimpy. He has qualities or mannerisms more often associated with the opposite sex. Even though the word effeminate does not apply to the woman, this word is the opposite of masculinity. The woman mannerism is more often associated with the male. She tries to walk, talk, and be aggressive like a male. What the evil one, which is man, has done is taken this word, effeminate, out of most Bibles and translated it as male prostitutes. See 1 Corinthians 6 chapter 9 verses. But the word male prostitutes does not do justice for the word effeminate. This is so because effeminate does not talk about man lying with man, but only the mannerism of the male. Now, in 1 Timothy 2 chapter 9 verse, the women are urged to adorn themselves in modest apparel. The word adores in this verse means to enhance or decorate. The Apostle Paul is teaching that a woman should enhance her beauty at a modest state, only to not appear to look like a man or act like a man. The word modest in this verse means of good behavior. The woman is of good behavior in her apparel when she adheres to the order which God has set forth. Not only did God support his apostles when they said a woman should not appear to look like a man or act like a man, see Deuteronomy 22nd chapter 5 verses, but they should distinguish themselves from men by their modest dress. God also supported his apostles when they talked about the orderly arrangement of God's creation. When God ordained order, he said that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. See 1 Corinthians 11 chapter 3 verses. I thank you for listening and stay tuned for the second part of this lesson. May God bless you.